Welcome to Munger Vision. We are at Mill River Union High School, and yes, finally it's softball season. I couldn't wait all year for it, and what an opening matchup I have is Rutland will be the visitors today. They'll be taking on Mill River. You're looking at Jessica McDonald. She will be the pitcher in the circle for Mill River. Behind the plate, being her battery mate, will be Nicole Rao. That's a very veteran tandem right there. They have both started since their freshman year. They're both seniors this year, and they seem an obvious choice to be the strength of Mill River. Will be their pitcher, especially early in the season when you're waiting for your defense to get in fine-tuned shape and for the hitting to come around. And for Rutland, you're going to have Megan Blongi leading off, a good leadoff hitter, followed by Hannah Green, Jen Bova, and then Karen Waterman. The four do up here. Well, three if they get to the fourth spot. Rutland on the plate, top of the first, we're set to go, and here comes Megan Blongi. And the first pitch of the Munger Vision Spring Sports season will be in there and be slapped foul for a strike. I'll quickly go around the horn for you and tell you that Amanda Lee is at first base, Chelsea Redenis is at second defensively, Melissa Mangan is at shortstop, Brandy Bennick's at third, Desiree Gray, Taryn Redenis, and Kayla Plouffe. That's your outfield. And that's going to be strike two. McDonald, as has been her style for 3 years, a varsity starter. This is her fourth year being her senior year. She works from ahead in the count a majority of the ball game, a high majority of the ball game. She works from ahead in the count. So 0-2, and the pitch to Blongi, and oh my goodness. That had to be within a millimeter of being a strike, and it was right there. McDonald reminds me an awful lot of all those good pitchers. There's strikeout number one on a swing, and the first out will be recorded of the season for Mill River on a strikeout. And Blongi, a good hitter, was just overpowered right there. Now Hannah Green up, the center fielder for Rutland. She'll step in from the right side. Now, and I'll get to finish my thought on McDonald, the pitcher. That's fouled straight back. McDonald is physically got the tools to overpower you, but she's got the brains that I love to watch in a pitcher, like the Magaz, like the Hendys, the Higgins. I mean, you can go back, the Lawrences, and just think of all the great pitchers in the last almost 15 years of watching Munger Vision. But she sets the count up, she sequences her pitches, she throws 4 or 5, she has good command of 4 or 5 pitches. She doesn't throw 4 or 5, she has command of 4 or 5 pitches. And that'll be fisted foul. And again, I got both teams' lineups, and I walked in the dugouts for both sides, and when I got to the Mill River side, there was Jessica McDonald, big smile on her face, and I said, "How you doing?" And she said, "Awesome." She lives to pitch, and today's the day she's been looking forward to, the first day of the season, and that's going to be up the middle, and picked up, shortstop, Mangan, throw, God, it's going to be an error, and it'll be out of play, and they'll allow the runner to go to second, and I think that's going to be one of the keys today, obviously. Now it's, in hindsight, will be this young Mill River defense, and it is young. Only 2 people out there, Redenis at second and Bennick at third, who were on this infield last year. And now Bova up. Bova represents good power in this Rutland lineup. So a big moment already in the ballgame. Don't expect a lot of runs today. It is extremely windy. It'll be tricky on pop-ups for both teams. There's 1 out, 1 on, and the runner at second base is Hannah Green with excellent speed out there. See, Coach Wright plays a little small ball here. You know he's got the big bats right now. There's a swing and a miss, and you can see Rao behind the plate. Now she is a Class A catcher. Good arm, commands the game from behind the plate, and she'll be tough to advance up on. Bennick in tight at third base defensively for Mill River. And that dropped down a little bit too low for a strike, and it'll be ball 1, strike 1. So the error on the throw to Lee at first, ball just mishandled. And actually, she's looking right into a brilliant sunshine here at Mill River. The first baseman will look right over into it. Oh, just overpowered her. But McDonald's been working to be a pitcher at this level for many years. She works with pitching coaches, besides her father also, who's an outstanding baseball man, softball man. She throws a lot of pitches during the week, and it's just dedication that's gotten her to this point in her career. Oh, great pitch, great location. That is a big out. She'll have her second strikeout And in all rights, she should be out of the inning with no damage done right now. Now Waterman, the cleanup hitter, up with that RBI sitting out at second base. They're playing the outfield relatively deep, actually. Waterman with good power. 1 out, or 2 out, 1 on, and McDonald into the windup. They'll be high and Rao. Now, a lot of things get by Rao, and most of the time, Rao, the catcher, doesn't really have to worry about that with McDonald. She's got pretty precise control. So Rutland trying to take advantage and pick up a run here on an error by Mill River. Baseball and softball coming up on Munger Vision. And that was just off the plate. On deck is Brittany Cleefish if Karen Waterman's able to get on. McDonald doesn't waste a lot of pitches. When she is done a ball game, the pitch count is never that high. She throws in the high 50s, sometimes 60s. She fields her position well. She'll pick it up, throw to first, and got it. So they'll strand the runner. She'll strike out 2, and we'll go to the bottom of the first, scoreless, with Mill River coming up. You're watching the last warm-up being taken by the Rutland pitcher in a circle, Catherine Cohen, out there, number 10. Again, good pitching matchup today. Liz Carrera will be the catcher. At first base defensively is Jen Bova. Brittany Cleefish is at second. Megan Blongi is your shortstop. Karen Waterman plays the hot corner at third base. The outfield consists of Hannah Green in center field. Sam Snitker is in right field, and Mallory Mollison is your left fielder. And leading off will be Kayla Plouffe at the plate for Mill River. In the last 3 years, these games have been very tight score-wise between Mill River and Rutland, and I do believe Mill River with a two-year winning streak now. And she'll step in the batter's box, and that pitch will be in the dirt and low. Nice stop by Carrera, and you might say, Jerry, nobody's on base. What's the relevancy of making a stop like that? Because it keeps the rhythm of the game going. She doesn't have to chase the ball down, and gives the pitcher a chance to establish a rhythm. Right now, Cohen pitching at a pretty fast clip of catch and fire. And she's probably a little adrenalized about being the first game of the year, but that'll be ball 3, and Plouffe up in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Sunny day, warm day, very breezy day. The breeze blowing in also. It's not a hitter's breeze, that's for sure. The windup and the delivery. And that'll be ball 4, and I'll put the leadoff runner on base for Mill River. If there was one area that a number 2 seed last year had problems with, and that was having an offense against a good pitcher and a good defensive team. Against the weaker teams, they were able to rack up runs, but they had a little trouble manufacturing runs. There's the throw down, and she's going to be safe. Almost got her. Blongi took the throw. Plouffe will be down at second. And it's one thing I wanted to see with the new coach, Gary McDonald, in charge this year, if they would play A, a little more small ball, or B, just crank up the base running like that, like there, the steal. So runner in scoring position with nobody down. That gives you an option now if you want to bunt over to third base and put a runner at third with less than 2 outs. They'll ask for time, get time. Carrera, you can see the target on the outside corner of the plate. Again, if the camera shakes a little bit, I apologize for that. It's a very windy day, and that's going to be a pass or a wild pitch, and it'll allow Plouffe to go to third now. So Cohen, even though it's early in the ball game, having a little problem with her control right now. And it's early season softball in Vermont. These young ladies have not had a lot of chance to get out in the outside conditions, playing conditions, get a lot of practice in, scrimmages in. That's why it's so much of an advantage to have a really decent pitcher to get you through the first 2 or 3 ball games until the rest of the game catches up to your players, the offense, the defense. And that's going to be foul. Bova, and yeah, they're going to call that. I didn't know she had touched it, and she did not, so it'll be just a foul ball strike. And Plouffe will stay at third, and Coach McDonald and the umpire, Carlton Laird, having a slight discussion. I'm not sure what Carlton was talking about, but everything seems to be all set. So we'll stay with nobody out, runner at third, bottom of the first. No score scheduled for 7. You're watching PEGTV Channel 15 Sports. Jerry Munger bringing you softball action today. Got some baseball action coming up from MSJ St. Peter's Field. Oh, great play. They're going to take the out at first and get it. Waterman was playing about as close as you could play. without getting hit with the swing of the bat, and she made a tremendous play there. But Mill River will get the lead. So that walk comes around to get you. They'll bring up McDonald, Jessica McDonald. Now last year, McDonald got the bat on a regular basis in the lineup. And boy, she made the most of it. She started really picking up about midway through the season and was hitting the ball with a lot of power. And they've got her right in the heart of the order with a 1-0 lead. Base is clear. McDonald looking to get something started right here. Oh, nice pitch right down the pipe. Much freer motion Cohen had with her arm that time. Now, I know Cohen herself works very hard on, getting her. You see how windy it is? It blew the hat right off the pitcher. That little, well, I know what you call it. Visor. A visor, that's what you call it. I do know what you call it. Blew the visor right off her. That's pretty windy. But I know she throws a lot of pitches, has pitching coaches she works with, and pulled the string on that, and they're going to throw down and get her. Yeah. So that's 2 outs now. Base is clear. 1-0 the Mill River squad with the lead. Now bring up Nicole Rao. Now Nikki Rao. Big bat in the lineup, and if you're going to face her, this is the way to face her. With 2 outs, nobody on base. She'll take that one right down the pipe. 4-strike-1. For a power hitter, though, Rao has good discipline and not being a wild swinger. She'll be patient in there, like that right there. She goes to a 1-1 count. Again, like I said, I have CSJ college softball coming up for you on Munger Vision, and that's going to be off the end of the bat, knocked down. They got a chance still to make the play, and they'll get it. Bova will knock it down. She did not panic. It goes over to the second baseman, Cleefish. She'll flip over to first, but the Minutemen will have the 1-0 lead going into the second. Yeah, so Cleefish for Rutland will be the leadoff batter here in the top of the second, followed by the DP Taylor Kriskonko, and then Sam Snitker due up. That's 3. Ready to face Jessica McDonald, number 21 out there for Mill River. And boy, see that drop on the ball? Like I said, she commands 4 or 5 pitches. She's got the fastball, obviously, the changeup, the drop, the curve, the rise, and she's been working on a screwball. And that's going to be fouled out of play. That'll be strike 2. So again, McDonald, not to hammer this to death, but she does work from ahead in the count a high majority of the time. That's one of her big pluses. Plus, she's just physically strong. From her freshman year to now, she's just matured and strengthened herself. She's in good condition. And like I said, she thinks like a coach out there in the circle, and she'll have her 3rd strikeout. And that was on a rise ball, and believe me, that had some garlic sauce on it. That thing was moving. And now Taylor Kriskonko up for Rutland. She's hitting for the pitcher, Catherine Cohen. Snitker on deck. The bases are clear, and I'll go through that Mill River defensive alignment for you again. And she won't bite on that pitch. Minutemen have Amanda Lee at first, Chelsea Rodenis at second, Melissa Mangan is at short, and Brandy Bennick is at third. Nicole Rao is your catcher. Jessica McDonald is your pitcher. That is a swing and a strike. Kayla Plouffe, Taryn Rodenis, and Desiree Gray, that makes up the outfield for Mill River. Gary McDonald's the head coach. And he's got to like his ball club this year. Like I said, a little inexperienced defensively. Some young players out there at short and at first. But again, with a pitcher like McDonald, you can cover up growing pains with her ability to control the game from the circle. Well, like that, she'll face the first 2 batters in the second inning and strike them both out. She's at 4 strikeouts on this ball game, early in the ball game. Now Snitker up with 2 down, nobody on base, and Carrera, the catcher, on deck. Again, it's not a matter of being patient at the plate. Those are strikes, whether or not they swing and miss or not, they'll be strikes. Like that pitch right there on the outside corner. It's about location, sequencing the pitches, and being able to pull it all off and execute it, and McDonald can do that. And that's going to be put into play down to first base. Steps on the bag. That's Lee with the put out. And that's the inning. Quick work. 1, 2, 3. 1-0 Mill River going to the bottom of the second. And Catherine Cohen is going to be looking at Melissa Mangan, Desiree Gray, and Amanda Lee. And still up here in the bottom of the second. First time through the order for both teams. We'll see what adjustments are made as we get into the, when the batters and hitters get a second look at the pitching by both pitchers. That was a good looking pitch. Didn't get the call. Stayed a little bit outside. Yeah, Cohen did walk the leadoff batter in the first. That ended up being the run that Mill River has, and that is a good pitch right there. You can see the movement on that break of the ball, and Cohen will get the strike call. I'll set that Rutland defense for you in just one pitch here. I'll catch up to you. I had to stick another jacket on. That's going to come back to Cohen. Nice job fielding the ball. Throw to first, got it. So Cohen will get the leadoff batter out this time, as she'll throw it to first base to Jen Bova. And Desiree Gray up, and again, like I said, this will be our first time taking a look at Catherine Cohen. Carrera's your catcher, Cohen's your pitcher. I already mentioned Bova's at first base. Cleefish is at second, Blongi's at short, Waterman's at third, Mollison, Green, and Snitker is your outfield. Dick Wright, the head coach. Now that's going to be down to Bova, and boy, you can see how much more comfortable out there that Cohen looks throwing the ball. And these are young people they're dealing with. It takes them a while to kind of get into their rhythm, and they've got it now. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Amanda Lee. And Lee, with nobody on base, will be very good there with a good eye. That tickled the corner, but didn't get the call. And again, if anything, it was a little bit high. Lee, the starting first baseman, was a varsity starting soccer player last year as a freshman. For Coach Randy Chadburn, played JV ball for basketball, and here she is on the varsity softball team. So, good athlete. And Cohen, you see her, she's kind of slowed down the pace. That's popped up. This will be an adventure in the wind. Yep, it's going to drop in. I knew it the minute it was hit, because it was just hit in a bad spot. It was hit just past the infield and just in front of the outfield, and the wind is gusting. I can't emphasize that enough. So with 2 down, Lee will be on first base, and we will see what they want to do as far as running with her. Brandy Bennick up the third baseman now for Mill River. Last year she was a starter on the squad, so she's got experience, and I know one area that Bennick wanted to really work on and improve on was her hitting. She at times really struggled, and there's a second stolen base of the ball game. Lee will be in well ahead of the throw. Blongi took the throw from the shortstop position. And it's very obvious early on here that you're going to see a lot of aggressive running from Mill River this year. And I do like that. I like that a lot. Like I said, there were some times over the last several years that I just thought Mill River could have incorporated a little bit of more small ball and helped manufacture some runs, but who the heck am I? Right now they're having a little problem trying to figure out the base and putting it all back together, and this is almost like a ritual at Mill River. They got it there, they go. Well, those are for safety reasons. Those are those breakaway bases. So 2 out, and Lee down at second base for Bennick, and Taryn Rodenis, the center fielder, on deck in case Mill River can extend this inning. Oh, I started telling you, I got CSJ college softball coming up for you on Channel 15 Sports. And then MSJ baseball action, varsity baseball action. So plenty of spring sports coming up on Munger Vision Channel 15. And that's going to be down to Bova, and that's going to be a foul ball. I could hear it clearly called out by Carlton Laird behind the base, so that will just go as a strike. The runner Lee will go back to second base. Cohen will step into the circle, and we'll just redo it. So Bennick made contact, just foul. Oh, looking at that one right down the pipe. Good pitch, good pitch. But boy, when you get them served up like that in the strike zone, you got to be aggressive at the plate. That was right on the edge of being strike 3. So Mill River trying to add a run here. They're up 1-0 in the bottom of the second. And that's going to be in there. And they're going to send the runner around. Lee will head to home base, and Bennick's going to have an RBI single. That was a good, solid hit by Bennick. So she wanted to improve on her hitting, and she started off the first at-bat of the season picking up an RBI. I would call that an improvement. Yeah, so now the last batter in the order, Taryn Rodenis, and then the top of the order, Caleb Plouffe. Now we'll see again how aggressive they'll be running the bases. They're 2 for 2 on stolen base attempts, Mill River. And that is going to be the it's going to drop in. Blongy will smartly just hold the ball. That again, just hit in the right spot. Not a lot of power with it, or not a crushing shot, but it just was in the right place at the right time. You know, right? Yeah, so now top of the order with 2 outs, Plouffe up. She scored a run. She walked and scored a run. I tell you, they're jumping all over the base pass out there. They're trying to disrupt the rhythm of the pitcher, get the infield shifting around defensively, and possibly create a bad throw or an errant throw. Good stop by Carrera. She went up and got that one. I tell you, Cohen started off this inning in good shape. She got the first 2 hitters on a ground out to the pitcher and a ground out to the first baseman. Good pitch, real good pitch at the knee, called a strike. 2-0 Mill River, bottom of the second. Runners at first and second. So a lot of deuces here in the second inning. 6th hitter to come to the plate, and good eye. She'll lay off that, and that's going to be a ball to Plouffe. Like I said, she walked and scored. She walked in the first inning, stole second base, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and eventually came around to score. Cohen's going to take her time, make the throw. That will end the threat. There, Mill River squad will pick up another run, and it'll be 2-0 Mill River over Rutland going to the top of the third. Since the error in the first inning committed by Mill River, McDonald has retired 5 Raiders in a row. And see her, she's a leader. She's out there directing traffic, taking charge. And Liz Carrera, the catcher, up, and then Mallory Mollison, then the top of the order for Rutland. So again, first time through, getting a look at McDonald, and that's going to be a little nubber. McDonald will pounce on it, throw to first, and get the out. 6 in a row retired now by McDonald. Again, I think that's an area, watching McDonald pitch all 4 varsity years, I think it's an area she's improved in very noticeably, is her fielding her position so confidently and so consistently well. So Mollison will take the strike. You see the down and in action like a screwball right there as Mollison kind of stepped back from the plate, but it definitely was a strike. We're in the third, scheduled for 7, and Rutland down 2. That was tight. That'll definitely be a ball, and that'll even the count out at 1 ball, 1 strike. Very good crowd on hand here for the first game of the season, and the field actually in excellent condition when I was walking around it before the game. That's going to be off the fist, and see if they get that 9-3 put out. They will get the out. And you see that a lot in softball, that hit to right field, not an automatic base hit because they play so shallow. So 2 down and 7 retired now in a row. On top of the order, Blongy up. Again, that wind blowing the camera around, I apologize for that. Blongy struck out in her only at bat back in the first inning. McDonald 1 hitter over the minimum because of the error, and Blongy looking like she wanted to do that slap bunt, but she came up and didn't take the cut at it. Blongy, very good speed, good athlete. And McDonald will look in, and McDonald will pace herself. She'll catch and fire, but she'll pace herself for the ball game and get in a comfort zone. And again, that was the slap that was missed, and that's a strike. McDonald with at least a strikeout in the first 2 innings. She's got 4 for the ball game, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and see if she'll continue that streak here with a strikeout in the third. Oh, right there, right down the pipe for a strike. Not a lot to discuss about that. Had some juice on it, had some movement on it, and it was called a strike. That's one thing about doing softball, is the wind burn you get running the camera. And she'll have it for the strikeout for the third out. She'll get blinded twice so far, and that'll be 5 strikeouts in 3 innings for McDonald. Yeah, so Cohen, number 10, doing a good job out there. Like I said, last inning, she gave up a 2-out run. She did surrender a run in the first. But other than that, she's looked pretty sharp out there. And for Mill River, you're going to be looking at Chelsea Redena. She grounded out to the third baseman Waterman in her only plate appearance back in the first. Boy, I tell you what, she got a piece of that and off the glove, and that's going to be extra bases. Mollison made a great effort to get the ball, but that was just pulled down the line, and 2 base, a double to get things going here. And that was a legitimate double. There's nothing, no doubt about that. So Mill River will get the leadoff runner on for the second time in 3 innings today. Now bring up Jessica McDonald. She struck out her first time up, and she'll get in there. A little different scenario right now. McDonald with a runner in scoring position, and she's swinging away, and that's going to be foul. Not by much, but foul. That was a good inside-outside swing by McDonald as Conan came inside on the fist with a good pitch. Good location on the pitch. So Mill River has just scored a run in each of the first 2 innings, trying to keep that trend alive here with runner at second, nobody down. And that's going to be out of play. Nobody could get there. It was just a little nubber. Pull cued off into the bat. McDonald will be down 2 strikes in the count. Nikki Rao will be on deck for Mill River. So McDonald trying to get the bat on the ball and protect the plate with 2 strikes. Whoa. That was a pitcher's pitch. That was right on the edge. She brought it up and out of the strike zone, trying to get the hitter to chase it a little bit, and it'll be called a ball. But again, she's sequencing her pitches very well. And she'll get a big strikeout right there. McDonald will go down for the second time today on strikes. And now Rao up. She grounded out 3-4-3 on a ball that ricocheted around a little bit. So that's a big out. 1 out now. And she's right in the power part of the order. Cohen is the pitcher for Rutland. Melissa Mangan is on deck for Mill River. Rao, again, very disciplined, patient hitter for somebody who is a power hitter. Outstanding catcher, too. And that's right to first, and yeah, that's only the second out. Bova thought it was the third out, and boy, they're real lucky there that Redenis didn't take third base on that play. That was a shot, but it was caught for 2 down now. So that double to lead off this inning in danger of being stranded out at second base. 2 outs and Mangan up. That's stopped in the dirt behind the plate by Carrera. Nice job by the catcher. So Cohen trying to squirm her way out of a little problem here in the third. That's high for a ball. Gray is on deck if Mill River can get to that next batter in the order. 2-0 Minutemen in the bottom of the third, but they're threatening to add a run here. Good pitch. Good pitch by Cohen. Had her low and outside and got the call. That's going to be back to Cohen, and it looks like she's going to do it. Yeah, they'll get out of the inning with no damage done. It'll stay 2-0 Mill River as we head to the top of the fourth on Munger Vision. Donald with 5 strikeouts. There's been 1 error committed. She hasn't allowed a base hit yet. She hasn't walked anybody, and she's going to be facing Hannah Green. So Green now getting her second look at the pitcher, McDonald. Green reached on an error, got stranded at second base. That was back in the first. Rao and McDonald, that will remain the battery. Now, you can't see that changing throughout the whole season for any reason other than an injury. Like I said, McDonald started as a freshman, as the varsity pitcher, and here she is her senior year. And like I said, in my opinion, which is just my opinion, it's no reflection on anything other than what I've watched for many years, she's got to be in the top 4 pitchers in the state of Vermont. I don't care what division you play in. this young lady can pitch. And what we got is time called by the umpire, and what they're doing is retrieving some of the foul balls, and we're having to switch to the batter. Green wants a different batting helmet on. As Rutland looking to get that leadoff batter on for the first time today. And we're all set. We'll resume action in the fourth. 2-0 Mill River, and Rutland at the plate hitting. Oh, great pitch. Did you see the bend on that thing? Not only she got movement on the ball, but she's got some velocity on it. Like I said, she throws in the high 50s, low 60s. Very seldom walks. She averaged just a little over 1 walk per 7 innings last year. And that is a drive, and that is a drive and a half. And that is a powerful drive all the way to center field. Rodenis will pick it up, and they're going to have her at third base, and she's going to turn the corner. They're sending her home, and that's going to be it. A shot to center field and a run scored, and that's the way you get things going. That ball was hit on a line 3/4 of the way to the fence. And hello offense, as that's going to be Rutland's first run, and unofficially I'm going to have to give her a home run. Like I said, Hannah Green just clobbered that thing. And man, that puts some new energy over in that Rutland dugout. Brings up Jen Bova, who struck out in the first. So the first hit allowed by McDonald unofficially is a home run in my book. There was no errors committed on the relays or the throws. It was just, like I said, that thing hit probably 12 feet in front of me. I'm at the center field fence, and that was a shot by Green. So 2-1 now. The lead's been cut in half, and that's popped up. And will it be played? Yep, Plouffe will make the catch. And that's going to be out number 1. So 1 out, nobody on, and 1 run in. 2-1 Mill River. Like I said, this is going to be a tight one. It's going to be a low-scoring affair. It should be fun. Waterman up. She grounded out to the pitcher. So Waterman, I'm trying to ride that momentum of that leadoff homer by Green. And that'll be a ball. Yeah, a lot of things to watch here. First of all, how does McDonald react to that hit? She's very experienced, very intelligent. See if she just kind of settles back down and gets into the groove here. I'll tell you what, second look through this order at her on that 4-3 ground out, Rodenis to Lee. But they're getting contact off McDonald. Now, it's a matter of adjustments the whole game. The hitters will adjust to the pitcher. Now it's up to the pitcher to make the adjustment to the hitters. So if Cleefish up, she struck out in the second, and that was her only time up. And that'll be a ball. That one was high and out of the strike zone, and Cleefish with a good eye right there. Because believe me, McDonald certainly didn't show everybody her whole menu of pitches in that first time through the lineup. That's going to be the second hit of this inning. It's going to be to Rodenis. She'll get the ball into second base, and that's Rodenis to Rodenis out there. There's a couple of sisters playing. 2 outs and 1 on, 1 run in, and this is by far the best looking inning for Rutland offensively. And like I said, this is their second look through the lineup now. Taylor Crisconco up, and Crisconco struck out her only time up. 5 strikeouts for McDonald, no walks, and 2 hits. 1 error committed by Mill River. Tying run at first base, and Crisconco in the 4th at the plate for the Raiders. That was high and out of the strike zone. Now it's going to be interesting. Coach Dick Wright has always been very aggressive with his base running, and I think they missed a sign over at first base. They wanted some running play put on there. But Rao behind the plate, outstanding, accurate arm. So it'll be a good matchup here if they want to run on Rao. And we'll see what will transpire here. A lot of chess playing going on right now. Players are directing traffic. Coaches are talking to hitters. People are moving around. This is fun now. This is when the game gets real fun. It's going to be picked up by Rao. They'll throw to first, and handcuffs. Leash will make the catch. The Raiders, so with a home run by Green, will cut the lead in half. 2-1 going into the bottom of the 4th. So Catherine Cohen in the 4th inning put in a position now to hold the lead at 1 at 2-1. Go and look at Desiree Gray, Amanda Lee, and Brandy Bennick due up here for Mill River. And like I said, we've Well, I've watched many of these games between Mill River and Rutland, especially over the last 4 years with the good pitching matchups, but they've all been tight ball games. They've all been close. This will be no exception. 2-1 Mill River. If we're going to the bottom of the fourth, we're all set. Whatever was the stoppage in play has been taken care of, and that's going to be hit toward Waterman. She'll play shallow throw to first, get the out. One pitch, one out. You notice how Shomo, I'm going too far back here in Rutland history. You notice how Cohen out there has really gotten comfortable and settled into a nice pitching rhythm. Watch her motion, how relaxed and free her pitching motion is now. That's a strike called. Yeah, Amanda Lee singled and scored back in the second inning. She'll not be able to reach at the outside corner and get that one. That'll be strike two. Yeah, Cohen with 2 strikeouts in the ball game. They have both come at the expense of McDonald. She has struck out twice, and that'll be fisted, literally off the fist and foul. Carrera will get the new softball back from the umpire and toss it out to her pitcher in the circle. And again, Catherine Cohen out there. Been a good matchup. That's going to be a foul ball. Got a lot of good matchups coming up. I've got the Bellows Falls Mill River game, and that features another good pitcher in the state of Vermont, good athlete, in Sammy Hodgkins. So that's one to look forward to. Got a lot of double headers coming to you from CSJ, last year's Sunrise Conference champions. And that's going to be put into play. Waterman didn't charge the ball and just does get her at first. Waterman stayed back on the ball and just very fortunate she's got that strong arm and was able to get the out. 2 down. And Waterman has recorded both assists. Now Bennick up. She had an RBI single back in the second. And Cohen looking for a 1-2-3 inning here, and that's what you want after you get a run back. It's a change up that floated outside. Yeah, after you get a run back like Rutland did in the top of the inning, they want to have a good solid showing in the bottom of the inning and get out of there with the reap the rewards of their effort. So 2-1, bottom of the fourth, 2 down, nobody on, and Bennick will step in. Yeah, we'll float up and out of the strike zone. Good eye by Bennett, good patience. Again at defense, first base is Boba, Cleefish is at second, Blongi's at short, and Waterman's at third. Carrera behind the plate. I already mentioned Cohen's on the in the circle. There actually is no mound out there. And it's Mollison, Green, and Snitker in the outfield for Coach Dick Wright. Coach Dick Wright and Rutland High School swung through foul tip caught by the catcher Carrera. Won the state championship Division I. They went to the championship game, played BFA back-to-back years, winning it in 2000 and losing it in 2001. Time called for and granted to the base runner. Of course, Dick Wright winning state championships with Proctor. Been very successful. And that's going to be a strikeout. Third strikeout of the game will end the inning, and we'll go to the fifth in a 1-run game. See what adjustments McDonald's will make here, as, like I said, people face her now for the second time in the ball game. They made a nice adjustment. Rutland did, got some good hits, some good contact in that fourth inning, cut the lead in half, and they're going to be looking at Sam Snitker. She grounded out to the first baseman. Amanda Lee, her only time up, that pitch called a strike. Get McDonald with 5 strikeouts in the game, no walks, and has given up the 2 base hits. She's going to be heading the count right there on that rise ball, strike 2. The big blow so far of the ball game, the home run by Hannah Green of Rutland High School. Even though they trail, that by far was the most awesome hit of the ball game. And good night. Boy, nothing worse to me than watch, when I coached, was watching somebody watch the pitch go by. 2 strikes, you got to get that bat off the shoulder and be aggressive, and if it's a borderline pitch, you got to get a piece of it and follow it off, stay alive. That'll be the 6th strikeout of the ball game. And I'll bring up Carrera, who grounded out to the pitcher McDonald. Again, hypothetically, this is the bottom third of the order for Rutland. If McDonald gets out of this inning with no damage done, that puts Rutland in the 6th and 7th inning, right where they want to be, top and middle of their order. And that came inside and backed the hitter Carrera off the plate. 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 strikeouts in the second, 1 in the third, and 1 in the 5th. And that's where we get 6 for McDonald. Oh, that's right there. Again, boy, gotta get those bats swinging. Mollison on deck, and Mill River Union High School, the site of today's Munger Vision feature. Oh, and again, can't repeat it enough, and I'm not singling out any individual player. But man, when they're coming down the pipe like that, that could be your best pitch to hit in the whole sequence. McDonald ahead in the count. Let's see if she kind of brings the ball a little bit out of the strike zone. Went change up, and just couldn't get the call. Perfect spot to throw the change up, and it was high. It was a good call, but it was high. But it was a great thought process. You see her thinking the sequence of the pitching out. That works too. Just go back and blow it by him. And again, I just know that drives coaches nuts. Watching strike 3 go by. Now Mollison up. She grounded out to the first baseman, Mandalee also. So I believe a couple putouts today. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts now for McDonald. Looks like she's settling back into form here in this 5th inning after giving up a couple good shots in the 4th. Again, the website for PEGTV is www.pegtv.com, and you can get that on-demand video where you just go and click on an event, a talk show, a game, wherever you want to watch, and sit right at home on your computer and watch sports now. It's a neat feature. Never done it because I'm not a computer literate techie guy, but I've heard a lot of feedback from the public that loves it. That's going to be Plouffe, and she'll make the basket catch. A 1-2-3 inning for McDonald and Mill River. They'll hold that 2-1 lead going in the bottom of the 5th. 3 strikeouts in the ball game for Catherine Cohen, and she's looked real solid since that first inning on. A run off a walk in the first inning and a run after 2 outs in the second inning, and that's been it. Number 9 hitter in the order. We'll take ball 1 that will roll in, and that'll be Taryn Redenis. We're going to see a couple of Redenises this inning. It's going to be Taryn Redenis and Caleb Plouffe, and then Chelsea Redenis. And Taryn had a single her only time up. She'll make contact here, and Waterman again plays an excellent third base. We'll get the throw over to Bova. She'll make the catch, and there's 1 down. And an all-important stat, I think. It doesn't necessarily mean you won't score, but they get that leadoff runner out, and that really kind of sets the tone for the rest of this inning as far as being able to strategy-wise what you want to do defensively. And I don't think she held up. Strike called, yeah. So Caleb Plouffe, who walked and scored in the first and then grounded out to Cohen in the second, will be called strike right there. Which represents the top of the order. And like I said, Rutland's worked their self around for the 6th and 7th inning to be at the top and middle of their order where they've done all their damage offensively. And Plouffe will step back in the batter's box, and right there Cohen kind of rushing between pitches, and she'll fall down in the count. And you're watching Munger Vision on Channel 15 Sports. Spring Sports is here, finally here. Back Mill River softball, College of St. Joseph's softball, MSJ baseball, and I know that the Bougiani Thunderbird AAU basketball tournament is, I believe, the weekend of Mother's Day in May. And I don't believe I've been fired. I think Doc's going to have me come and do some of that again. So you shall have some AAU basketball also on Munger Vision. Now that doesn't mean that I won't get a hole in my schedule where I might be able to buzz up to Otter Valley or down to MSJ for softball and catch some different games. But that's just my hard schedule. I've got pretty much all set up. 2 strikes and the pitch. Got her. Oh, drop third strike. Here comes Plouffe. It's going to be a tough throw down, and she'll leg it out. Yeah, she will be on first base on that drop third strike. And the reason I thought it'd be a hard out was because the ball kicked down the third base line, and it gave a tough angle for Carrera to try to make the throw past the runner. So Cohen will get her 4th strikeout, but it will result with Plouffe at first with good speed and Redenis at the plate, Chelsea Redenis, and we'll see how long it is before they send Plouffe on the steal. And I'll tell you what, that was a good pitch to pick because it was a floater, an off-speed pitch, and Plouffe will be down at second with her 2nd stolen base of this ball game. Yeah, so Redennis with a chance. She grounded out to third base and then hit a double. So Redennis is 1 for 2 today. She's got an RBI, an all-important RBI out there in a one-run game, 2-1, Mill River. Good catch by Carrera. Now, this is also where you put the pressure on your pitcher-catcher. You don't want to pass ball or wild pitch here and let that runner move up without the aid of a hit. Now, I'm just stating the obvious, but that's a great pitch. That one had a little bit of cayenne pepper on it. She reached back and put a little extra oomph on that one and just blew it by Redennis. McDonald on deck for Mill River. She struck out twice today. We're in the 5th, scheduled for 7. Great pitch. Took care of business herself. She will have her 5th strikeout, 2nd out of the inning, and McDonald up. So each pitcher's starting to rack up the strikeouts. Again, it's not like a hot day where I'd wear a tank top and shorts. I'd never wear that on a hot day anyways, but it's a pleasant day, a little windy. And that's going to be allowing the runner, Plouffe now on that pass ball. We'll get to third base, that's big. That's big even with 2 outs because we want to state the obvious. Now a wild pitch or a pass ball and the runner gets a chance to score from third base. This is a big run right here. Potential for a big run. And for the first time today, I'll have the umpire getting away. McDonald will swing through and miss for a strike. No, it's hard to find a spot sometimes where somebody's not going to get in your way and block your view. And I've done good for almost 5 full innings. Contact, pass Waterman in the hole. Blongy to first, got her. Blongy with the big play. I tell you what, that is a big time play by Blongy. Made the throw, got the out. They'll strand runner. We'll stay 2-1 Mill River going to the 6th. Rolling in position they want to be in, down just 1 run on the road against a quality pitcher with the top of the order up in the 6th. Megan Blongy up. She has struck out twice today. That's been her only 2 plate appearances, and she's going to get the bat on the ball, and that's going to be over the head. And this is going to be at least a double. That's going to be over the head of Redennis, and they're going to send Blongy to third base. And they're going to put the brakes on there, so the leadoff batter on third base with nobody down in a 1-run game. I think there's a lot of factors to that. That ball was hit off the end of the bat. It was slicing away from the center fielder, and the wind got a hold of it. But it was a good poke, and that is right where you want to be. Third base, nobody out. And Hannah Greenup, who is reached on an error and then hit a home run, and they're going to have a meeting on the circle. And this is big because Mill River had a chance to get a 2-run lead at the bottom of the last inning and stranded the runner. And now Rutland with a chance to get this thing tied up. And a lot of options. You'd say, Jerry, you're crazy if you say the word small ball, or the phrase small ball. Green just hit a home runner last time up. But hypothetically, say if Green creates an out and doesn't advance the runner, that's only 1 down. That still gives Coach Wright a lot of options to go small ball. But again, the pressure put on pitcher-catcher. You don't want a wild pitch or a pass ball. You can see the umpire went out to break up the meeting. That was only a meeting of the infield. And I think that was to discuss scenarios that might take place. You know, if the ball's hit here, what are you going to do? You know, if the ball's hit the shortstop or third, are you going to come home with it? 2-1 game and strike called. Of course, the other thing that McDonald has going for her is she's the type of pitcher who possesses the potential to create a strikeout every batter, which means she could get herself out of this jam with her arm. Oh, that's going to get the run in. Plouffe will settle in and not make the catch, and that's not only going to tie the game, it's going to put a runner in scoring position for the go-ahead run. So a little bit of shaky outfield play has tied this thing up at 2-all. And Rutland with a chance to take the lead with a runner at second and nobody out. And now bring up Jen Bova. She has struck out and flied out to right field. So McDonald with the 7 strikeouts, but a 2-2 game, and the go-ahead run at second base. There's the small ball. Bennett will go to first to get the out, and got it. She squeezed it, and they call it. The run will score, though, and Rutland will take the lead. So they got caught up with the holding of the ball and getting the ball, and Rutland will come across with the go-ahead run, and they'll take the 3-2 lead here in the 6th inning. And that is what I think of when I think of Dick Wright, is small ball. I mean, he executes that aggressive running style Waterman up. See, that runner was at second, and they got the ball over to third, and the runner never broke, never was going to break stride going to third base. He went around the corner and went home. So once a 2-0 lead for Mill River has all evaporated. They trail 3-2 now with 1 out and Waterman up. She's grounded out twice, once to the pitcher and once to Redennis at second. And that is a strike called. On deck hitter is Brittany Cleefish. And I tell you what, for both sides, this is a good opening matchup and a tough opening matchup. This is the first game of the regular season, even though it's a non-division game. But I tell you what, you couldn't get two better ways to start off. Starting off against good competition, both ways you look at it. Oh, big swing, foul tip, caught by the catcher, Rao. Now, one thing Mill River's got to do right now is, yes, things didn't go your way this inning, but the inning's not over. Don't make the damage more than a run deficit. That's going to be strikeout number 8. So there are 2 down now. And Cleefish up, and she has struck out and singled. So Rutland with a run in a 4th and 2 in the 6th. We're with a run in a 1st and a run in a 2nd. That's where we're at with 3-2 Rutland. There's a swing and a miss. So McDonald with the bases clear, trying to get out of this and keep it at a 3-2 deficit. And that is going to be off from Rao in fair territory. That is a base hit. That's a fair ball. And I'll tell you what, Rao will make that play 9 out of 10 times. And so that will prolong the inning and put a runner at first base with nobody out, and Crisconco up. Taylor Crisconco has struck out and hit a little nubber in front of the plate that Rao got on and threw to first. And Coach Wright having a chat with his young player. You see Coach Wright talking to Crisconco right there. And we're all set. A lot of strategy, man, taking place here. Oh, I brought extra batteries. Oh yeah, and a long tape. And she's got the potential to go extra innings. That's going to be a base hit. Nope, scooped up by Redennis to lead. That's the inning, but the Raiders will take a 3-2 lead into the bottom of the 6th. Back up again, and it died down for about 2 innings, but Catherine Cohen pitching with the lead now. And she'll be looking in the bottom of the 6th, right at the middle of that order. Nicole Rao, Melissa Mangan, and Desiree Gray. And that's too far inside. Might have been a tad bit low, and that'll be ball 1. Rao has grounded out and lined out. And if you're a Mill River fan, good time to get a base hit. And that's going to be slicing foul and out of play for a strike, and that'll leave the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. And Catherine Cohen has, I said, had a tense or tight. She was tight in that first inning with her motion, but she's pitched pretty solid from that point on. And that's going to be Cleefish. She's got time, and yeah, they're going to have a base runner on. Yeah, she had a chance on the rising line drive, went off the tip of her glove, snow cone, and Rao, with good speed, was able to get down the line and beat the throw to first. And now Mangan up, and she's grounded out to the pitcher twice. Now we'll see if Mill River will resort to a little small ball to move the runner up. Nope, they'll hold up right there. There's the throw down, and she'll be in there with a stolen base. That's why you don't have to play small ball, because they've been perfect stealing bases today. I believe that is 4 for 4 on base stealing. I like that too, because it doesn't take the bat out of one of the hands of your batters. Now they can swing away with the runner at second base. And that, I think the wind's going to keep that from being caught. Yeah, I got to tell you, the wind is stronger now than at any point in the ball game, and it started off like a lion. Kind of went to a lamb in the middle innings, but it's back with a vengeance now. Mill River at the portion of their order too, that they're down to just 6 outs left in the ball game, down the run. That's not to say you can't get the job done anywhere through the lineup, but you start going through, again, other than that first 2 innings, they haven't had a lot of contact here. A lot of base runners they have not had. It was an area, that was a changeup that just missed. It was an area last year they had Ketchum at shortstop as their power hitter, and she really solidified that infield defensively. And that's on the infield. And nope, tell you what, that's a good job of nobody getting hurt, as Bova and Carrera both going for the ball, pulled off it. And that will be a second life here at the plate for Mangan. Again, 3-2, runner at second, nobody down. Bottom of the 6th, Mill River down that run, but they got the tying run at second. And that's going to be right there. 1 out, and oh, they're almost able to double up. Cleefish was looking for somebody to flip the ball to, but Rao, a very veteran player, didn't get that far off the bag. So 1 out for Desiree Gray, who has grounded out to Bova at first, and then grounded out to third base for Waterman Gutter. And that pitch was high for a ball. And that defense stays the same with Bova at first, Cleefish at second, Blongi at short, and Waterman at third. Carrera behind the dish. And that'll be high for a ball. Cohen in the circle. And the outfield has Snitker, Green, and Mollison. That's what started the game for Coach Wright, and that's the alignment still out there for Coach Wright. Oh, great pitch. Brought it up and inside and tied up Gray. Desiree Gray will step out and take a look down to third base. That's going to be hit on the line through the hole. Rao had to hold up. That's going to tie the ball game up. That's going to go to the fence, and I'm going to pick Gray up at second, going to third. She hesitated. Here comes the throw. She'll beat it at third base. She will tie the ball game up and end up at third base with an RBI and gets a big pat on the head from Coach McDonald. Tell you what, that was a drive through the hole at short that rolled to the fence, and now Amanda Lee up. She has singled and grounded out to Waterman. And yeah, they're going to have a little discussion right now. See, Coach McDonald calls for time. He wants to talk to the base runner. Now, he could be doing, this could all just be a feint or a fake out, trying to make the other team think something big was going to go on here, a special play. Or with 1 out, this gives him a lot of options, like I talked about with Coach Wright with the 1 out and a runner on. You know, you can do small ball, you can do slap, you can swing away. You know, a lot of choices here. And I'm sure they talked about that. If it's a bunt, it's got to be on contact if you're going to go home. Well, not necessarily, really. If it's a bunt, you want to make sure they throw to first. She was swinging away, and that's going to be off the glove of Bova in foul territory. I'll tell you what, Jen Bova almost made a spectacular play right there. And again, pressure on pitcher-catcher. You don't want a wild pitcher pass ball and let that go-ahead run come in. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the 6th. And that's going to be out of play or the dugout, the Raider dugout. So 2 strikes now on Lee. And don't think it's automatic that you pull the bunt off nowadays with 2 strikes. Oh, she started to come forward with her momentum, but held up on the bat. The pitch was let her high, and it was a ball. Desiree Gray with the run-tying triple down at third base. That's going to be Blongi with a catch. She will fall down, and that's what might cost her the run, and there's the go-ahead run. It was a great play by Blongi to make the catch, but then she fell on her butt because her momentum was taking her back, and that's what allowed the run to score. So Gray will take and give Mill River the lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Oh, not a lot you can do there. That was a nice play tracking the ball. She made the catch. Now Bennick up with the bases clear. 2 down, 4-3 Mill River. And I tell you, this is just like a movie trailer to show you what the rest of the season will be like. That's why you've got to get out and catch softball action live. And please make sure you watch it on Channel 15 or go to the website and download it and watch it on demand video on the PEGTV website. Young Bennick with an RBI today. I forgot to mention that. She had an RBI back in the 2nd inning. She's also flied out to the shortstop and grounded out the 3rd. Now 2 balls, 1 strike. I just want to hear the count. Tell you what, a great opening ball game on Munger Vision to get this softball season underway. Changeup floats outside. Cohen gave up a run in the first, a run in the second, 2 here in the 6th. And like I said, that is a swing and a miss. Strikeouts, I just want to catch up on myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 strikeouts for Miss Cohen unofficially in the game. Yeah, but it's been a battle like a boxing match. Each person able to deliver big blows when they need it. I was talking about offense. Well, 4-3, to be very honest with you, is more than I thought I'd see for runs between the 2 teams because of the pitchers, and the fact it's early season softball action. But when they've needed a timely hit, each team has gotten it. And that's something I'm sure both coaches would like to see carry on through the season. Now, Bennick at the plate, and Taryn Redenis is on deck. 2 runs in, 4-3 Mill River, and we're set to go here. We had the pitch from Cohen. Got her looking. Strikeout number 6, and Rutland coming up in the 7th, down a run. Watching Nesson, or if you're watching the Red Sox, this is where you'd see Jonathan Papelbon come in. But McDonald is her own closer now. She's got the lead back at 4-3, and she's going to be facing the 7, 8, 9 hitter in the order, and they're combined 0 for 6 against McDonald. It's going to be Snitker, Carrera, and Mollison due up unless they pinch hit. So 8 strikeouts in the ballgame for McDonald, and she'll start off at strike 1. Snitker has grounded out to first base. That was Amanda Lee with the putout, and then she struck out in the 5th. Mill River had a 2-1 lead. Rutland chipped away at it, got down to Mill River had a 2-0 lead at the end of 2. Rutland able to come back and make it 2-1 in the 4th, and then take a 3-2 lead in the 6th. And Mill River rallying to take a 4-3 lead here going into the 7th. Been excellent pitching, good strategy, and boy, right there's a good pitch. That's out number 1 and strikeout number 9. And Coach McDonald at third base telling him to be leery of the bunt. Mill River looking to get off with a win over a Division I foe. That would help them tremendously in their playoff seedings. And that strike right there, see that break action on the ball, had Carrera kind of leaping back a little bit. If they can get through the bottom of the order, obviously they'll have Blongi on deck. But she's at the number 4 spot this inning. Great pitch. See that cut action on the pitch? 0-2 the count. McDonald with 9 strikeouts in the ball game. Number 21, senior Jessica McDonald out there. And that is going to be caught by Plouffe on the fly. Oh man, she made up some ground there, and that's out number 2. And that was a good job of getting the bat on the ball right off the fist. So Plouffe has looked solid out there today. And now Mollison up. She is grounded out into a 9-3 ground out, which is Plouffe throwing to first base, and then she flied out to Plouffe. So Rutland down to their final out here, down 4-3 to Mill River, looking to snap a 2-year losing streak to the Minutemen. And strike call, 1-1 to count. Tell you, you have to get out and watch local baseball and softball action right here in Rutland County. It is fun. It is good stuff. Okay, right there, they're calling an illegal pitch on McDonald. Yeah, that won't bother her. She's a very veteran player. I love talking to her. Very level-headed kid. And that's going to be down to second base. Redenis to first, and that is going to be the ball game. And Mill River will rally with 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th to take the 4-3 win over Rutland to get this softball season underway. And a good job by both coaches. Their teams were very well prepared, and they looked to be actually in mid-season form compared to early season form. A great effort by the Raiders. An excellent pitching matchup between Catherine Cohen and Jessica McDonald. McDonald will end up with the 9 strikeouts. Will get the win. And 4-3 is your final on Munger Vision. Get out there, support your student athletes, and always support Munger Vision. The old guy needs it.